In the summer of 2012, a solar flare was hurtling towards Earth, warning us that something extremely dangerous was going to happen. While solar flares are normal, they're often a warning sign of something extremely dangerous that's going to happen. Beginning as explosions on the surface of the sun, solar flares give us about 8 minutes of warning before X-rays and extreme ultraviolet radiation reach Earth. Following those rays, charged particles knock out satellite electronics, disrupting GPS and other forms of communication. Finally, billion-ton clouds of magnetized plasma accelerate towards Earth, breaking anything that uses electricity. It's a nightmare that would bring us back to the Stone Age, but luckily for us, that solar storm missed us by about 9 days. Also, in the summer of 2012, blooms of algae were stirring in the lakes of the Kawarthas. While algal blooms are normal, they can often become toxic and wreak havoc. They begin as harmless green communities floating on the surfaces of lakes, but then they quickly cover everything in thick, soupy green mats, becoming monstrous in size and giving off foul odors. Next, certain species within the bloom make toxic molecules that can impair or kill fish and pets, or even make humans sick. Finally, when the blooms eventually die, the algae sink to the bottom of the lake where bacteria use up all of the oxygen in the water to decompose them, creating areas of what's called hypoxia. These areas of hypoxia are devoid of oxygen and can move around the lake, choking out any fish unlucky enough to get in their way. It's a nightmare for our lakes, but luckily for those in the Kawarthas, not all blooms became harmful that summer. But why is that? Unlike solar flares, which are the indicators that a solar storm is imminent, we don't know what indicates a switch from a normal algal bloom to a harmful algal bloom before it's too late. This means that we don't know what the equivalent 8 minutes of warning is between a normal bloom and one that can kill fish and make us sick. To try and figure out what that indicator is, and to know how long we have to prepare for a harmful algal bloom, we have to look at things on a molecular level. What if we could look at the metabolites produced by the algae? Metabolites are products of metabolism, growth, and toxin production. And by using liquid chromatography and mass spectrometry, we can isolate these molecules from consecutive weeks of water sampling to identify which might be that indicator that we're looking for. If we know what that indicator is, we can close beaches early to prevent any humans or animals from becoming sick. We can implement preventative algae control devices such as aeration or water bubbling. And ultimately, we can reduce the impact of harmful algal blooms as much as possible. Now, algal blooms are expected to become more and more frequent as the climate continues to change. Therefore, finding a molecular switch to indicate when these blooms will become toxic is imperative if we want to continue safely enjoying our lakes. One day, we will determine what our equivalent 8 minutes is, and whether it's 60 minutes, 12 hours, or 2 days, whatever it is, hopefully it will be enough time to allow us to take control over these green monsters once and for all. Thank you.